Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast. Financial professionals, let's move forward together.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and with me today is Anthony Miller. Anthony is the Business Development Director at Flowgear, a global business that specializes in integration and aims to shed the workload and complexity of app-to-app integration quickly and affordably using their no-code platform. Anthony is also a serial entrepreneur with a passion for building innovative businesses with inspirational people, having co-founded several successful businesses in several countries and in unrelated sectors. Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, Anthony Miller.
Ed, thank you very much for having me on today. I'm looking forward to chatting to you.
So first off, Anthony, why do you do what you do?
Ed, firstly, integration is a passion of ours. So at Flowgear, we're passionate about integration, bringing disparate systems together, and enabling companies to really share data between them. As I'm sure you've seen with the advent of cloud and e-commerce and complex supply chains, companies have become heavily dependent on an increasing array of apps, systems, and services to operate efficiently and grow their businesses. But really, sharing data between them is still one of their biggest challenges. Also, there's been a big shift in most companies' mindset and adoption of technologies. And this has moved away from hand-coded solutions to really best-of-breed SaaS technologies. So to unpack that a little is historically, if a company wanted to bring technology into their businesses, they would commission software developers to come and build a bespoke solution for them. Because historically, everybody believed nobody did what we did, and I need something completely unique. Today, there's a complete mind shift. Companies would rather license best-of-breed applications. So, for example, if you needed an ERP system, you'd go to Sage. If you needed a CRM system, you'd go to Salesforce or Microsoft, and e-commerce, Shopify, and so on. As these companies had already forgotten the things that your clients haven't even thought about, and continue to dedicate enormous amount of resources into R&D. So where the market's moved to is really the only missing piece of this puzzle is once companies license these technologies, is how do you get these systems to talk to each other in real time? And really that's where Flowgear comes in. We built a no to low code platform for this, and our passion is bringing these systems together so companies can collaborate and share data. And this is not only internally between your internal systems, it's also about sharing data and connecting upstream to your suppliers and say downstream to your customers.
It's funny. Integration has become such a word that I think people just hear and almost without even thinking what it means anymore, right? So can you unpack this word integrations and by giving me maybe a practical example?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Integration is something that's used almost daily. So let me give you a practical example, as you say. So, in an integration, it generally needs to touch multiple systems or parties in real time. So if I took an everyday example, Ed, of let's say you went online to buy a pair of shoes. This is going to hit multiple systems. So, for example, you'd have an order originating in an e-commerce platform, so maybe something like Shopify or Magento or WooCommerce, and then you as a customer would be created or referenced in the CRM system. So, that could be like a Salesforce. And then one would need to check the pricing and inventory availability through the ERP system. They capture the order then again in the CRM system, create an invoice in the finance system, process the payment through, say, a payment gateway, dispatch the order through the warehouse management system, and then eventually get it couriered to you through a courier company. So even in this very simple example of something we do every day, you could see there are probably about 8 or 9 systems which need to talk to each other in real time so that Ed Kless can get his pair of Nikes. So that's probably an example which I think would resonate with virtually anybody. But essentially, Flowgear's platform has hundreds of pre-built connectors to integrate into anything. So whatever systems you need to bring together, our no-to-low-code platform will, one, integrate into those systems, and then two, you visually build out workflows to pass data between those systems to automate a process or facilitate a transaction.
So I want you to react to the following statement. Would a fair analogy be that integrations are sort of like digital plumbing, in that nobody really notices it's there until there's a problem?
I always say to people, integration is, if integration works well, things just show up in the right place at the right time. But essentially, integrations become a critical component of your business, because if the integration is about taking orders or creating invoices or making payments, if that integration breaks, your business comes to a grinding halt. And this is the reason why most large enterprises have kind of moved away from that same legacy hand-coded solution and over to a platform. So these integrations are built and, most importantly, maintained in real time on one platform, one interface.
So it's really, like I said, the maintenance of that plumbing that's important, because you want the hot water to show up when the hot water's got to be there, and you want the cold water to be there, and you want the order, so to speak, to get out of the system without incident. That's all you're looking for.
Absolutely. And, the truth is, this is very fluid. So, talking about your water metaphor over here, integration integrates into systems, and those systems are updated on a regular basis. So some of them like 2-3 times a year. So as they're updated, so the integrations need to be updated in order for the end result to occur.
And Anthony, we have an exit question that we ask all of our guests, and that is, who is a hero of yours and why are they a hero?
Sure. Hard to nail it down to just one. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you two. From a business perspective, I definitely have to say Steve Jobs. And from a personal inspiration, and also as being a South African, I'd have to say Nelson Mandela. I think both these men epitomized their relentless perseverance in pursuit of their goals, which is something I definitely resonate with. And I think, just a quote from both of them, which are some of my favorite quotes. Steve Jobs was quoted as saying, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do." And Nelson Mandela said, everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they're dedicated and passionate about what they do. And for me, these are values we strive for at Flowgear and certainly in my personal life.
And of course, I believe Jobs featured Nelson Mandela in one of the most famous Apple ads going back to the 1990s. So connection point there as well. Lastly, Anthony, how can somebody contact you?
So the best is through our website, flowgear.net. You'll also find on the contact page telephone numbers for our various local offices, depending where you are. And on our website, you can actually also register for a free trial or a technical demo or a complimentary proof of concept.
Excellent. We'll make sure to put that link in the show notes. Anthony Miller, thanks so much for being a guest on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.
Excellent. Ed, thank you very much for having me.
Review and subscribe by searching your podcast player of choice for Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.